Thanks for checking out my video. If you want to learn more from me, I have a lot of classes on Udemy. You can find the links to a lot of those in the description.
Okay, so this one is kind of an interesting topic I don't think I've ever tackled before. But can everyone do magic? I'd argue yes. Everyone can go through a process of whether you're working through spells in a book or you keep working at it until you are able to understand the importance of the different tools and ritual structure, and then make up your own spells and actually perform them. Yes, it's the same thing as anyone can pick up like a musical instrument, and anyone can, I guess you could say, write something. The thing is that anyone can do it, but whether or not you will actually be successful and be able to manifest what you are looking to manifest is another story. Another analogy I have is plenty of people can learn how to drive a car or ride a bike or ride like rollerblades or skateboards or different things. And your skill level in that area can vary greatly. Now, I can ride a bike, but I can't do that thing where people just balance perfectly and only have to move their legs. I have to keep at least one hand on the handlebars because of my balance issues. I can arguably play the guitar, but not as good as plenty of other people due to my right hand's disability with having, markedly slower movements and stuff than anybody else. Like if you were to look at me playing the guitar versus my uncle, who could literally fingerpick, Here Comes the Sun while explaining physics, which I saw him do when I was like 17. There was a great difference between my skill level and his. So, this goes on a continuum, I guess you could say. And of course, this also varies with time. Back in 2007, when I was just starting out, was I practicing magic? Yes. Was I as effective or successful then as I am now with it? No. And that has to do with the amount of time that I put in, the amount of research that I put in, the amount of effort I put in, and even building skills with things like concentration and, new term, spell building, or, creating and crafting the correct ritual with, the correct color correspondences and the right tools and the right sympathetic magic and all that stuff. That occurred with time and skill level. So, one of the biggest things, at least for me and my perspective on magic, is the mind. And if you've watched any videos on my channel or taken any of my courses on Udemy, then you know how important the mind is, arguably, at least in my take of it, in making magic work. So with that, we're talking about, if you read my book, Magical Mechanics, we're talking the principle of belief, being able to suspend your doubt and stuff into believing that what you want to make happen can and will happen if you go through your process and hold on to the belief. You got to understand that what you're doing will work because any doubt will take it away. And that leads into our next one, the ability to focus. So, this might be arguably difficult for people with things like ADD or ADHD. I myself don't think I have ADD or ADHD. Some people that interact with me on a daily basis might think so, but I was never diagnosed with it. But, when you are in that ritual space, you have to give up all your up, work, home, TV, bed, thoughts, concerns, and all that stuff, and purely focus on the ritual itself and what you are trying to manifest. So 100% of your attention is on the goal that you are doing when you step into your temple. You put all your tools out, you do all your invocations and stuff, and then you start working your spell work and you raise your energy and you cast it and whatnot. Your focus needs to be 100% there. Now, is it there all the time for me? Not exactly, which is why I got to find the right mental time and the right mental space to do my magic, because if I'm distracted or I'm worried about something, it's not going to be effective. It's like distracted driving, right? You don't want to have or do distracted driving, although 99% of us do that thanks to these little doohickeys called cell phones, which, by the way, I'm recording my audio on the cell phone right now. But this ability to focus, of course, does also come with time. So what other kinds of things would... Hopefully that didn't show up in my recording, but, I got my voicemail stuff. What other things come with the ability to practice magic other than, skill level and attention? Oh, yes, the ability to raise energy. Now, this, of course, goes with focus, for one, and two, kind of tapping into what your own personal energy is like, right? Some people can be very, very, they have much more of an affinity for one type of energy than the other. Like, my lady would be very, very good with things like dancing and rhythm for raising energy. Me, I'm very good with chanting or just purely meditating and focusing, hyper-focusing. She was definitely not good with the hyper-focusing kind of thing. But I'm phenomenal with that, being able to stare at a sigil and pour my energy and attention into it until it activates and things like that. So you got to know where your skill set is with raising energy. And, you might like raising energy in one way, but your ability to raise energy could be way higher in another way. Like, I might really like the guitar, but my musical skills are much more effective at something like the ocarina or the didgeridoo. That doesn't mean I'm not okay with the guitar, but I can just advance and go much farther with a different kind of instrument. And this is the same kind of thing with raising energy. You got to figure out what is best for you and what is more effective for you. And this is another thing that can set, skilled witches from kind of noobs apart, is your ability to look back, reflect, and plan, and just the bigger picture of everything. Being able to understand what spells worked and what didn't. Being able to work yourself from smaller spells and seeing those results to bigger spells and seeing those results, and going back to the drawing board and fixing them if you don't have effective results, right? So really understanding and growing in that way. And then also another thing that can set you back from, or that can determine being good at witchcraft to not being good at witchcraft at all. And I did make a video about this previously. If you don't think that practicing magic does not require personal development, then it will hold you back. The reason why you don't have that thing that you're trying to manifest right now is because there are different blockages in the way that are keeping that from manifesting right now. And those kinds of things that could be the blockages could be external, in terms of, a job opportunity that you don't have yet, or maybe somebody else's efforts or energy blocking you from those things, or it could be internal. I would like to argue that there are always at least partially internal barriers from why you don't have what you want to manifest. At least partially. So this is why you got to take an inventory on yourself and find out what you are good at and what you are bad at, and being brutally honest with yourself, because constructive criticism is one of the best ways to learn and improve, whether this comes from yourself or other people. And if you are not ready to face yourself and understand what you are good at and what makes you suck, then you are not going to improve either on what you are good at or improve on and fix what makes you suck. So, can anyone practice magic? Yeah. Are there many different ways at which people can vary in their magical skill set? Yes. Are there ways that you can improve on your magical skill set about whether or not you are good or you suck? Yes. And I think I kind of covered all of those. If you guys think I missed something, let me know down in the comments. Let me know where you guys think you are with your magical skill sets and whether you think arguably you are, good at what you're doing if you're practicing magic or what's kind of holding you back. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Good hunting.
Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of Magical Theater and Magical Mechanics, and The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.